Welcome to our edition of LRMania Reviews, and tonight I'm here to talk about the July 18th, 2017 edition of Smackdown, and this show will feature the Punjabi prison. So, Singh Brothers introduced Jinder, he comes out, and the Punjabi prison is already, down on the ring, it's been lowered, so he's in the prison right now. So as Mahal and Singh brothers are talking, they're trying to be really intense. You can hear the Singh brothers screaming. It just didn't work. And you can see Mahal, he had something in his throat. He had the frog in his throat for sure. Randy Orton interrupts, and he does his promo by he doesn't come into the prison, but he climbs the outer structure of the prison. He climbs, and as he keeps climbing, he stops and keeps talking. He stops and talks until he gets to the top, and he continues to talk, cuts a promo. Promo wasn't that good. It's just Orton's boring right now. The promos weren't awful. It was fine. It was just a standard WWE promo. And at the end, Orton climbs to the top and does his pose. So, it didn't really, I'm not a big fan of this gimmick match. They usually suck, but, and they haven't had that much good matches as of late. So low expectations are not very high for this one. So Jimmy gets the win over Kofi. Match was fine. So we go to backstage segment with Shane McMahon. He's with all five of the women in the Fatal 5 elimination match. But one thing that really just bothers me, Naomi is such an afterthought in this woman's division. She's the champion and she's barely talked about. She's barely noticed. They don't even do anything with her. She's not even on TV yet. Why is she such an afterthought? Her title reign's been a disaster because she's never gotten to face anyone. They gave her one challenge. That was Lana. They put her in multi-women's tag, and then the show she faced Lana, no one cared about the match because all the focus was on the Money in the Bank match. And now here she doesn't have a match. They're just doing such a bad job with her. Why don't you just make it a 6-pack challenge and have her defend the belt? Why does it always have to be a number one contenders or a Money in the Bank? She's not even used. She's the champion and she's the afterthought. It tells you how much they really think about her. I don't even know why they even have her as champ if you're not going to even use her. And good to go back to the Usos and New Day. Just I hate it. It's just a boring rivalry now. It's just singles matches with the teams, and then they'll have the big match at the pay-per-view. They don't let them do the stuff they're good at, which is stuff like the rap battle. But since I guess maybe they were pissed off how it went down with the page reference or whatever. And in the women's match, no one's saying that they all want to fight Lana and Tamina, who should be released. I think she needs to be fired. She might be one of the worst performers on the company. I'm not a big fan of Nia Jax, but Tamina makes Nia Jax look like a superstar. Tamina is absolutely horrible. She's been there for a very long time. She is a horrible talker. She is the worst talker in the company, even worse than Kalisto. The way I heard her yelling, she just sucks, and she's awful in the ring. She has no confidence when she comes out. She gets 0 reaction. I don't know. I'm afraid she might actually win this fucking match. She sucks. She is garbage. Anyway, Charlotte and Becky, Natalia tells Shane to make a match at Charlotte and Becky. Charlotte says, well, wouldn't it be competitive? And it shouldn't, because Charlotte always beats her and makes Becky her little bitch. Becky looks at her, wait, what? And they argue a bit, and then Shane eventually makes a match, and that's cool. Those two can have a really good match. It's Charlotte and Becky, so that's obviously something to look forward to on this show. But I kind of like them as a unit right now, and I like how they're teaming up, so I don't know if I want to see them feud again just yet. Now they're doing a recap of the Kurt Angle stuff on Raw. Man, I wanted to escape from that fucking angle. I have to hear about it all the time. It's going to bum me out because one of my favorite teams is split up now with American Alpha, so fuck that. And why do they hate tag teams? Why does Vince McMahon hate tag teams all of a sudden? Why do you have to split up every damn tag team? Ugh. So after they recap the Raw stuff with Jason Jordan and Angle, they go to a sit-down interview with Renee Young interviewing Chad Gable, which was interesting. I thought they'd completely bury Gable because he's not tall. The tall guys get pushed. Enzo was the star of that team. Big Cass gets pushed because he's tall. Chad Gable is definitely a star of American Alpha, but Jason Jordan is a lot bigger and taller. He gets pushed. We know how this works. At least they gave Gable something. They had a sit-down interview with Renee Young. I mean, it was kind of just, he kind of came off as, he was disappointed the team was split up, and, he was a little upset when Jordan was keeping it away from him. But then at the end, he supports Jordan. And so obviously Gable's going to be a face, and probably Jordan will also be a face. And one thing is, they didn't make us a huge split, so if this completely flops, they do have the option of putting them back together, unlike Enzo and Cass, which they completely fucked up with that. So, it was a decent interview. It was something to give Gable, but I just don't see Vince ever pushing him because of his height. Even though he's super entertaining, he's just a great. I mean, he's a good worker. I mean, he's a great real wrestler. I mean, amateur wrestler. Then Mike Kanellis comes out. That theme music is just awesome. I love that theme music. So he's making his debut. I don't know if it's against Sami Zayn right now, but it's going to make his Smackdown debut. I assume him and Sami are having a match on the pay-per-view. So Sami Zayn comes out and they're having a match. We'll see if this is just an angle leading to the pay-per-view. But as of right now, they're having a match. Mike Kanellis beat Sami Zayn in actually a kind of quick match. I mean, Sami was going for the haluva kick, but then Maria Kanellis got in the way, and Kanellis hit him with an awful looking right hand and then hit his finisher and run. I'm thinking, is this the end of the feud? I mean, maybe Sami yells at Shane and demands a rematch, but that was really odd. I mean, it just kind of ended. I don't know if we're gonna even see the match at Battleground. So John Cena comes out, and the promo at first is just really boring. It's kind of just, I mean, I've heard him say this 100 times. How many times have we heard the same promo? Well, you guys might cheer me, but we're all Americans. But then at the end, it turned out to be a really good promo, because then he started talking about the flag. It became very patriotic, which I really liked. Very nationalistic, which I thought was great. Of course, no one in America is allowed to be proud of their country anymore and show nationalism. So it was a very nationalistic promo, which is great. He really went in depth of how the flag would always stand still. He went through a whole bunch of different events, through the Civil War, through Pearl Harbor, and he even mentioned he mentioned the towers falling in 9/11, which kind of surprised me that they, not much, but he did say, despite all of that, the flag still flew. The flag was still raised. So Pro was actually really good. He started, one thing I kind of laughed, he started waving the flag at the end like Rusev does with the Bulgarian flag. Like there's a bunch of birds he's trying to kick out. But then Rusev jumps him, and they do the spot when he's in the camel clutch for like 3 minutes. Cena breaks out, but then he falls back down. He tries to break out again, but he can't get out. Well, I wonder who's winning then. And then Rusev waves the Bulgarian flag. One thing I like with Rusev is he's from Bulgaria. He was never Russian. They always want to make it USA versus Russia, try to create that story in which the media wants to push. But, I like how he's not falling into that bullshit left-wing media crap, which is trying to push that narrative. Instead, Rusev is not from Russia. He's from Bulgaria. So I really like it. And also, the flag match is... it's not necessarily a typical flag match. This time you have to retrieve the flag, go up the ramp, and put it in the plant or whatever, the stand. I think that's just too much. Just grab the fucking flag, whatever. That segment was pretty good, but again, it did its job, I guess. Charlotte and Becky's is next. Hopefully they get a lot of time. I really like these two. In my opinion, these two are by far the two best women on SmackDown, without question. So they showed AJ and Nakamura in the back. I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, Nakamura pointed at the U.S. title and said one day. And I want to see that match. I want it at WrestleMania, not at SummerSlam. SummerSlam's always great. It's a big show, but I want that at WrestleMania. Hopefully they save it till they can wait 9 months, because that's a WrestleMania match, not a SummerSlam match. And SummerSlam's a huge show. Becky's out. Match with Charlotte's next. So Charlotte and Becky have a very good women's match. I really enjoyed the match they had. They had to go through a commercial break, but they had a really fun match, really exciting match. Got really good at the end. Becky gets the clean win over Charlotte, so I assume Charlotte has to go over to pay-per-view now. But Becky got a clean win over Charlotte. I think she hasn't beaten Charlotte in forever, since Charlotte went on that huge win streak on her back in early last year. But Becky gets a win here. Really enjoyed those two together. Really a big fan of Charlotte and Becky. After the match, Tamina comes out and her music plays. Tamina. She is just the absolute worst. Whenever I see her, just cringe. I want to turn off my TV. She's a channel turner for me, man. I think she's still becoming one of the worst wrestlers in the whole company. She is garbage. Lana comes out. Lana's fucking terrible with her. Get Lana away from her. Just put her back with Rusev and have her be Rusev's manager. That's where she's at her best, please. She's still talented. She can be utilized, but get her out of the ring and let her be Rusev's manager. Why are you fixing something that's broken? And then Talia attacks, and then the three of them just, Tamina and Lana end up walking out as the two dominant ones. Just, oh my goodness, that fucking sucked. Tamina and Lana, that pairing just trash. Main event's next tag team match, AJ Nakamura against KO and the Biggest Loser. So hopefully this match is, I don't know what's going to happen here. Because, I want AJ and Nakamura. I don't know if it's good for them to win right now because I want them to both win on the pay-per-view. At least Nakamura, man. If Corbin beats Nakamura, I'm just gonna flip out like you've never heard. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens right now. I think I kind of hope the heels get the heat here. Renee Young interviewed Naomi backstage, and Renee's looking great in leather. She looks great. She interviews Naomi, then of course. Naomi and Carmella went back and forth. It's funny that the two women who have the title and the briefcase aren't doing anything on the show, but yeah, my eyes were on Renee on this segment. Anyway, yeah, when Naomi, I went over this earlier, she does nothing. Then we went to the Fashion X-Files segment, which this is really great. I really liked it. X-Files was a great show, so I'm a big fan of that. So I really enjoyed it. It got a little bit cheesy at the end, but then they teased the match at the end for Battleground. They did the 7 thing with something in the box. I think it was like a unicorn head or something. I'm not even sure what it was. We'll see what they have at at Battleground. So Fashion Files are having a match at Battleground. Main event tag team match is up next now. Also, want to mention real quick, I'm really disappointed WWE decided to cancel Talking Smack. I'm very disappointed. I really enjoyed it. I really gave you another dimension of everyone's character. It made the people a lot more likable. You really got to know them, and you just kind of wish, man, why can't this just be the new norm? If these characters were like how they are in real life, and they were playing these guys on TV, this thing would be so much more better. Everyone would be more relatable and more likable. Except every single thing in the company is so just micromanaged, and everything is so overly scripted, and no one can get over organically because it's all fake. It sounds like they're robots being programmed by WWE machines speaking WWE language using WWE words. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, it's disappointing to see Talking Smack again, but I think it's no coincidence that Vince McMahon probably saw it, and I think he thought, well, how's this going to help us? But it's disappointing. Anyway, main event's on now. So Owens and Corbin won. Match was actually a good tag team match. I enjoyed the main event a lot. Again, it was a fun show of SmackDown. I'm glad the heels won in a way. Because if you follow WWE booking, it usually right before the last show, before the pay-per-view, whoever gets the advantage usually loses on the next show. So that means hopefully both AJ and Nakamura win on Battleground, as I think they should. They cheated at, KO pinned AJ, so I think AJ's for sure beating KO. The show was entertaining this week. I enjoyed the main event. The tag match was good. Women's match, I really enjoyed Charlotte and Becky. I thought they had a really good match. The opening segment was alright. I thought you just had a lot of good on the show. I didn't like the whole Sami Zayn Mike Kanellis thing because that just didn't build into anything really much. But overall, the Rusev Cena stuff I thought was also very, very good. That I really enjoyed. So I enjoyed SmackDown a lot this week, and it definitely increased my interest for Battleground.